There's a common saying that nobody leaves the company, they leave the bosses.
That's true.
And why do they leave the bosses?
Bosses का ही नाम खराब है.
Bosses का नाम खराब है. अब तो नौकरी नहीं है, अब तो खर्चा नहीं चलेगा, अब तो ये हो गया, हस्बैंड क्या बोलेगा, बीवी क्या बोलेगी, बच्चे क्या बोलेंगे, रिलेटिव्स क्या बोलेंगे, कलीग्स क्या बोलेंगे, फ्रेंड्स क्या बोलेंगे. Those post-firing discussions causes trauma to you. If we ask about actual work-life balance, how to maintain that, the golden rule is 80-20 rule. Do that 20% of the work, which completes your 80% of the work.
Right.
Younger generation, especially when they move to the corporates, so they are very casual, very smart people. And when they go to corporates, the culture is very different.
Right.
University students, they say we are ambiverts. It's fine, whatever you are, but choose your platform, that how you want to connect. Even I'll talk about my son. I am asking him to hire a coach for him. And he says, I'm very sure about it. You are into HR. If somebody says that I know your mom, I will be the last person to hire him as my coach.
As a boss or as an employer, you or anybody who would want these three things that we seek in any employer and a team member of ours. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Pitch and Hire podcast. I am your host Manya Goyal, and today we are joined by an incredible guest, Shefali Sangal. Shefali is an ICF certified coach, author and expert in the transformative practice in her field. With a unique approach, she helps individuals and organizations unlock their true potential and offering HR services and post consulting with a focus on personal and professional growth. Today, we are excited to hear about Shefali's journey, her insights on coaching, and how her work is shaping the future of people management. Welcome, Shefali. It's an honor to have you here. Hi, viewers. So we have our very special guest today, Ms. Shefali, and then thank you, Shefali, for being here, and she'll talk about the HR services and the POSH. This is the topic that we have picked for her today. So first of all, Shefali, I would want to know about HR services. Like, how did you get this idea that yes, you would want to we want to bridge a gap between the job seekers, the candidates, and the HRs?
Wow, to begin with, that's a wonderful question, Vanya, I should say. And before that, hello, my viewers. And I hope the interaction between both of us brings a lot of value to all of you. And yes, when I was a job seeker, that time I was, if I can be honest, I was totally lost.
I second that.
So I did my MBA because that time after engineering and medical, MBA was the only line left. And after doing MBA, I had honestly no clues. And I did my MBA because HR was not for me at that point of time.
Yeah.
However, now my journey of last 23 years is into HR. But I started with my MBA into marketing as well as finance. And then I picked up a job in sales and business development. Gradually, I shifted to HR. I started with contract staffing, temporary staffing. Then I entered into recruitments. Then, somewhere of the back of the mind, you have some stories going on. And the story which I had in my mind was I should have a huge cabin and I should have 2-3 telephones with me. And I'm sitting on a table and a chair and, even I imagined the kind of drawers in my table.
Wow.
And when I got into contract staffing and because I was heading the Pune zone that time and I got that cabin and that table and that setup when I got, wow, I was looking for this only. So where I was stuck in sales, I think HR is the thing which is in for me.
Right.
Then I gradually shifted and changed. I spoke to some people. And, honestly, you'll agree, Vanya, with me that at that point of time, we were very skeptical of talking to people.
Right.
Speaking our mind, basically. So what happened is then I took some courage and I spoke to people.
Correct.
And I asked them that, I want to do this, that. And gradually then life took me to HR, verticals, recruitments. I kept on doing recruitments. Then at certain point of time, I opened my own company.
Wow.
And that vision of people, with a glass cabin sitting outside, the team sitting outside, and I am inside my cabin. I said, wow, this was the thing which was there in my mind.
You have dreamt of.
So unknowingly I dreamt of, and I never knew that it is going to shape up.
Wow. So as a recruiter, because our viewers would definitely relate to this, because our Pitch and Hire community is also bridging a gap between the HRs as well as the students and the job seekers. So the challenges that you have been facing every day in closing the positions, and so back in time, what were the challenges that were there which are not there? Probably AI have overcome such. So please talk about that.
I think for the youth, if you are resonating with the questions, in our time, definitely career counseling was there, but mentoring was not there.
True.
Guidance was not there.
Nothing was there.
And then if we used to open up, we used to get a tap back.
Right.
Hey, why are you talking? Why are you discussing outside the family?
That's true.
And these days, people say, why don't you move out? Why don't you talk to people outside? So, the story has totally changed these days. Even I'll talk about my son. I am asking him to hire a coach for him. And he says, I'm very sure about it. You are into HR. If somebody says that I know your mom, I will be the last person to hire him as my coach. And this time, this is last Sunday only, when he said that if the person you are referring, or if I get to connect with somebody at LinkedIn, and if he or she says that I know Shefali, I'll never interact with him or her as a coach.
Actually, funny generation, I would say.
Exactly.
I mean,
so talking about, what differently young generation is doing these days, or rather they should do. One is that reaching out to people, opening up your horizons, whether you are an introvert, whether you're an extrovert. And I take a lot of sessions where people, specifically university students, they say we are ambiverts. It's fine, whatever you are, but choose your platform, that how you want to connect. You want to mingle around people, networking is one thing.
That's true.
At our point of time, the networking was never there.
Right.
And if it was there, we used to be very skeptical, 6 baje khatam hoga ya nahi, 7 baje hoga, what time will we reach back our places, right? Now, these days, it is open market, a lot of opportunities are there. And even platforms like you, bringing like-minded people, what the younger generation is looking at. So I'm sure if you take hold of these things, networking, reaching out to people, making mentors, coaches, even universities for that matter, they are offering so many mentors.
Right, they are. So, I mean, if we see it with a different perspective, the generation these days are very lucky if they compare what we had, I mean, the kind of struggles we have done when we entered in the market as a job seeker. I mean, they have the opportunities for internships, right? Paid internships. You tell me, Shefali, if you had the opportunity to be an intern during your college time and get paid for it, so how would have that felt, I believe? I mean, just tell me about that.
See, honestly, I've never thought about this because there was never an opportunity like this for me. So my mind says, don't know. But that money part is very attractive.
Right.
That money kitna mil raha hai, and अगर 4,000, 5,000, I'm just taking a figure, quoting a figure, 10,000 मिल रहा है, तो कुछ भी कर लेंगे.
हमारे टाइम में तो 5,000 भी बहुत होता था, right? If we could earn 5,000 per month, then probably we could have done our own expenses. So वो एक अलग feeling होता, I think, हमारे टाइम में तो, लेकिन we haven't had that opportunity. So now, tell me, you have also talked about POSH. So for any company, what is the significance of POSH and why each company should be POSH certified? So please tell me about that.
Wow. So POSH, prevention of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
So primarily there are 3 parties involved in this. One is the government, who have made the act, the rules, the policies. Second is the employer. So any organization who has touched a head count of 10 and plus, irrespective whether they have male staff or female staff, one location, multiple locations. At one location, if the head count is 10, then it is a responsibility of the employer to have this POSH policy, follow the compliance. And the third party is the employee.
Okay.
Now, if the government is doing their job, employer is doing their job, so I believe the employees have to do their job because it is all about employees and it is about making a safe working culture.
That's true.
And both for, not only for females, the act, the policy, however, is for women, but I think broadly it is for both.
Right.
And not only both, it is for all the genders.
Right.
It is about knowing your rights. It is knowing how do you behave. Like these days, we get a lot of cases or we get a lot of instances from the and younger generation, especially when they move to the corporates. So they are very casual, very smart people. And when they go to corporates, the culture is very different.
Right.
Because what happens at times is that, the corporates, they have all ages, all age groups there.
Right.
Now, what dress code they are wearing, what dressing sense they have, how they are talking to each other, how they are standing, how can he put his hand around her shoulder, what's the work culture, where is the company heading. So we come across all these questions and, bridging that gap. So I think there majorly, Vanya, you'll also agree that universities now, they have this POSCO. So now already students are being made aware, and 18 plus. So POSH is already there in the universities and colleges. Everybody, everywhere, both the acts are and policies are there. So somewhere it is, hitting their mind. And when they go to the corporates, so corporates, one is it is mandatory by the government to have a session. But I believe it is, moving ahead more than responsibility.
Yeah.
Now they are inheriting the culture. I know a lot of organizations who do one session a month. See, the government has said that one session in a year is compulsory, but they're doing one session in a month.
Okay.
Some organizations are doing quarterly sessions.
Okay.
Some organizations are inviting external trainers and doing internal sessions back to back. Somebody is showing them animated videos. So I think it is more about making people aware that what are their rights, what are their do's and don'ts. And at the end of the day, the people should be happy and satisfied.
That's true. So how do we make sure people are not misusing it?
So for that, in POSH, there is a provision of making, which is mandatory, ICC committee, which is Internal Complaints Committee.
Okay.
So like any organization has an HR department, finance department. Same ways, when you are implementing POSH, you need to have an ICC committee.
Okay.
And ICC committee undergoes a special training of how to implement the POSH and how to take care if any incident has come up, and unnecessarily not troubling anybody. So when I take trainings, I ask people that, they ask me what is the role of ICC committee. So I said that in your organization, if somebody gets fever, your colleague or teammate gets fever, what do you do? So we check on them. So I said, here you don't need to check on them. You just need to be a spy and just see that if everything is going perfectly and fine, and is there a need to sensitize people, is there a need to do something, but you don't go and ask anybody, किसी ने POSH तो नहीं किया, किसी ने harassment तो नहीं किया, किसी ने bad touch तो नहीं किया आपके साथ. We don't do that. We are sensitized enough. We go through proper training, and we just keep a check that how is the pulse of the organization. Are people happy or not? And how we come to know, are people engaged or not? And that's how then we decide the actions, what is to be taken.
Okay. Nice. I think that was a great information, and people who are still juggling to get themselves post certified, then I think it would help definitely. And you can definitely reach out to Shefali anytime. She would help you out for the sessions, for mentoring and the certifications. So moving forward to the next question, I would want to know what are the early signs of a toxic work environment, and how can we ensure that the kind of environment we are providing to our team members, it is healthy and they are happy in it. So how can we make sure about these things?
So looks like Vanya, you're asking me कि दाल में कुछ काला है और वो
ये पूरी दाल ही काली है.
ये पूरी दाल ही काली है. No, I think that's a great question, because these days, in fact, in POSH also, a lot of work harassment situations are coming.
Toxic work culture.
Yes.
And then late night calls from the managers. It is trending that people are dying because of work pressure. They are having heart attacks or heart diseases because of stress.
Right. So first of all, we have to draw a line, whether it is sexual harassment or whether it is some other harassment, or it is a toxic environment.
Correct.
Now, just to realize that we are moving in the right direction, and as to answer your question, that how to know whether it's heading towards a toxic environment. So first is very simple. When people start saying, "Ye mera kaam nahi hai," that's not my job, which means they are not interested, right? Where they are trying to avoid the discussions. When they are just confined to their work, and the moment the clock says 6 o'clock, they pack up their bags and they rush.
Right.
So which means दाल में पक्का ही कुछ काला है. Then the idea generation stops, and they are just doing their work. They are just confined to their work, and the idea generation stops.
Right.
So I think when we evaluate these things, we get to know that why the person is not engaged, what is missing, why is he or she behaving like this. Because at the back of the mind there is a story going on, or maybe other people are given more importance, somebody is appreciated and they are not appreciated for their work. Like I'll share what happened that recently, I was talking to somebody, and that's a real story. So I was talking to somebody, and it was a teamwork. There was an event organized, and it was a teamwork. So in that, one of the team member was appreciated in front of the peer leaders and other leaders, and the other person, because he was working a little silently, so everybody was not sure. Now his name, by mistake, I mean his name was taken there, but he was not called in front of the team.
Oh, okay.
And he took it by heart. Oh, why I was not called. Even I was a part of the association, and I had put my heart and mind and soul, and I had given so many ideas and this and that, So very important for this to understand is that if you keep a clear communication, if you're transparent that what happened, what went wrong, right? Why are you behaving like this? Why are you missing the catch-ups? That means that there is something going on in your mind. So clear communication, and what we do is we refrain ourselves and we don't enter into the discussion.
That's true.
बुरा मान गए तो नहीं बताना, ठीक है. We'll take it next time, or we'll see when we have a team meeting or in review. But instead of postponing the discussion, it's better, I feel, that do the discussion then and there. Keep a transparency, close it. Unnecessarily pulling it doesn't help anywhere. So I think if we are mindful about it, that we see that is the person putting a full stop to the discussions, is the person not talking about or missing the work, or saying no, that's not my responsibility, why should I do this? वो सबसे अच्छा तरीका है पहचानने का, okay, which means something is there.
In fact, managers right now in these days, after so much awareness that is going on around us, they are also available to talk to their teammates and to listen to them and give them a one-to-one session, give them some time, right? So I think frequent one-on-ones are the solution.
I think also your happiness index is there in your portals these days. So if somebody gives that emoji, which means that something is wrong in the organization. Silently you can keep a check, and that's how you are aware. There are a lot of mechanisms, as you also mentioned. So we can definitely see that what works with us. True. Is it communication? But at the end of the day, as if you are going to talk individually also, a lot of organizations are using EAP. So whatever mechanism you use, ultimately you have to talk, you have to communicate, you have to clear out, you have to speak out.
Until and unless you'll speak up, nobody will be able to give you a solution. So you'll have to make sure whatever is in there in your head, you are communicating to your peers and your manager, so that you all are on the same page and everything goes smooth in your journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now moving forward, I'll ask you about this very trending word that you would, I would say you would see in every second post of your LinkedIn, work-life balance. How would you define that, and how we should maintain it, and and as a employer, how should we give this to our team members?
Work-life balance, the whole corporate world is revolving around this, how to maintain the work-life balance.
But then this people are taking it in a wrong way, I would say, because people are presenting it in a wrong way, that you are not getting work-life balance, you are pressurized, you should take a step further. So, I mean, just please make the head clear for our viewers. What does a work-life balance mean?
Right. So, what you just said, I'll just add one more point there. Media plays a very important role here.
Everywhere, I would say.
Everywhere. So, like she mentioned that it is all about clearing the heads. So, she cleared initially only, but the media says so many job cuts.
Right.
Suicides. What's the reason behind it? Was the person already having some ailments, or was it the stress, or was it the work-life balance an issue?
Right.
So media just says suicide in the office, and then people are just going round and round and round. ये हो गया, ऐसा हो गया, वैसा हो गया. But honestly, as she mentioned, that use your head, use your brains, and just don't go by what media says. I'm not saying media people, I'm not saying that, this is wrong, but we should go in the depth if we are believing in the news.
Right.
But yes, to answer that, how to maintain that work-life balance, see, till the time you are happy, you are able to perform at the workplace. And at the same time, if you are able to manage your home, whether you are a male, you are a female, everybody has their own responsibilities, has their own family. If you are able to manage that, that's a work-life balance. You don't get stressed up.
Right.
When you get up in the morning, you are happy. You are happy for the day that's going to come
Correct.
your way. And for that, I think I'll go a little, different from the subject. That how to do that. See, it's not only about work. It's about a human being.
That's
So even homemakers, they don't have that corporate professional world. They are in their own world. I'm not saying that they don't work. They have a lot of responsibilities, more than a corporate person, right? So even when they get up in the morning, they don't, at times they are not willing to work. So will we say that the work-life balance is
not
disturbed?
there. Yeah.
So what happens is that when we sleep at night, we sleep with all those thoughts. ये नहीं हुआ, इस मेल का जवाब नहीं आया, क्लाइंट से नहीं आया, कोटेशन नहीं आया, all blah 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 going on in our mind. And when we sleep with that, all those emotions or that work which is piled up, it also sleeps with us.
Yeah, that's true.
And 5, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever we are sleeping,
Yeah.
all that is with us.
Yeah.
And when we get up in the morning, all those thoughts gets up with us. And in morning we say we are not fresh.
Yeah.
बहुत stress है.
Right.
We are struggling.
Right.
But the easy way is that before sleeping, if you settle your day, like you see a businessman, a shop owner, what he or she does, before packing up for the day, they settle the accounts.
Right.
So before sleeping, if you settle your account, this was good, this was bad, and or maybe this went unanswered, right? And I look it into next day. So your mind is relaxed that, okay, I have to look into this next day.
Sure.
And next day you wake up fresh.
Right.
And that's a tried and tested formula.
Yeah.
Maybe any one of you can try that. That's a tried and tested formula. But if we ask about actual work-life balance, how to maintain that, the golden rule is 80-20 rule. Do that 20% of the work, which completes your 80% of the work.
Right.
But what we do is, even at times, I also have done that, that ये छोटा tick mark करने के लिए, my to-do list has 20 items to take care of in the day. And I do, ये आसानी से हो गया, एक tick हो गया, 2 तो भी, चलो 20 में से 15 हो गए. But जो 5 important थे, वो तो मैंने शाम के लिए छोड़ दिए. And that's how, और वो 15 करने में, I got to know कि आधा दिन तो निकल गया. So we don't reflect. So second is that at times, after 2 hours or 3 hours, just take a pause and reflect that whatever was your KRA of the day, how far have you achieved? Are you midway? Are you able to complete it in time? Or are you going to take it back home? That घर जाके भी laptop खुल जाता है. So I visit a lot of places, so they say, I'm very busy. Of course, you are busy because there are a lot of things to be handled. And for 1 hour, they are doing gappe-baji. Idhar se bhi, udhar se bhi, udhar se bhi. But if you reflect, Baba, check yourself, how are you spending your time?
Right.
So I think it's all within us. So as I mentioned that आप रात में clear करके सो रहे हो, and morning में if you spend 30 minutes with yourself, either mindfulness, either breathing exercise, either stress management, either meditation, either walk, whatever, either music, whatever is a therapy for you. So you start your day on a good note,
Right.
and then all goes well. किसी ने हल्का सा टैप भी कर दिया तो आपको बुरा नहीं लगेगा.
Right.
अदरवाइज किसी ने टैप कर बोले क्या है, तो इतना झंझट चल रहा है, फाइल काम चल रहा है, ये चल रहा है, रिपोर्ट नहीं बन रही है, मिस्टेक्स हो गई है, गूगल ने भी एरर कर दिया है आज तो, और ऊपर से ये भी यहाँ छू के चले गए हैं. So it's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
So these, I think, few tips. Of course, you can also add. I would like you to.
I would also add the manifestation thing that me and my daughter follow every night. So before sleeping, we say a few lines that thank you God for giving this beautiful family. So thank you God for giving me a swing in my new house. She wants a big swing in our new house. So she manifests these kind of things that we have taught her, and she keeps adding on new things in her list.
Right.
So every time I've told her that if you'll not thank you God in the night, then you'll get bad dreams.
Correct.
And so at the last line that she ends it with, thank you God for happy dreams.
Wow.
So she wants happy dreams every day. and someday if she gets a bad dream, so she wakes up with, Mama, I didn't thank you God last night. No, that's why I had a bad dream. So now she has brought it into the practice.
At this early age only, she is starting doing self-reflection.
Yeah, she's just 4. So
she's just 4, and look at a 4-year-old child is self-reflecting.
Right.
So that's what we need to do. We need to do self-reflections. That where are we? Are we heading in the right direction or not?
Right.
And just to add on, like your 4-year daughter did this. So I am into Ho'oponopono healing also.
Okay.
So one day I was meeting my friend, and her daughter is 2 years old.
Wow.
And she came to me, and I don't know, a 2-year-old knows that I am into this Ho'oponopono healing. And she came to me, and she took her finger and did it like this on my forehead.
Wow.
And she said, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. In a lovely, cute voice.
That's so cute.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So that's how, if we are able to take care of ourselves, we are able to take care of the generation ahead.
That's true. I mean, this is what we are taking forward for our future generation. So, with this note, can you tell us about some tips on mindfulness in the workplace? Why is it important? How can we implement it?
That's my favorite topic. So mindfulness is important because what happens is, if we are mindful, we are able to step into other person's shoes.
Right.
And we can escape from the arguments. We can escape from the unnecessary delay of the work. And we can at the same time increase the efficiency and the output. But if we are not mindful, if a lot of chaos, a lot of, what to do, where to go, should I complete this, should I complete that, personal phone calls coming, professional phone calls coming, team member coming, boss coming, so many things going on. So our mind juggles. But if we are sorted, we are able to take care of ourselves.
Right.
And the productivity, the workplace increases.
Yeah.
There's a common saying that nobody leaves the company, they leave the bosses.
That's true.
And why do they leave the bosses?
Bosses का ही नाम खराब है.
Bosses का नाम खराब है. और वो क्यों खराब है? और जनरल कोट इज जैसे, आज पक्का बीवी ने नाश्ता नहीं दिया, आज झगड़ा करके
घर में लड़के आए हैं.
आज लड़के आए हैं. So what is that? That maybe if boss or whatever, whosoever is the person, they're not mindful at the workplace. They are carrying the baggages, they are carrying the load, and that is reflecting in other people. Now nobody will care. एक दिन तो कोई ठीक है आज, but if it is a regular practice, then nobody will care.
That's true.
And if they are not able to work out a solution, then the solution is leave the job and go for other job. So solution is that what I generally ask my people, because when I mentor people, students also, or when I do coaching, so in the corporates earlier it was never appreciated, but now I'm seeing slowly. Like there are a lot of apps, EAPs are there. I follow an app called thinkrite.me.
Okay.
So what they do is they have reminders. You can set up a reminder for yourself every hour, every 2 hours, whatever you want, round the clock, and a very soft tone rings. So that's a reminder that pause whatever you are doing, or you can, put a simple alarm in your phone. That's a reminder that pause and just reflect what you are doing. Are you mindful? Are you in a chaos? Do you need to relax yourself? Do you need to change your frequency? So just step up, stand, have a glass of water, or go to your colleague, just say hi, hello to him or her, and come back. And your entire this will change. So that's one of the practice. Then maybe if you're getting
looks like that was your reminder.
That was my reminder.
I saw the alarm clock.
That was my reminder to check myself that what are the thoughts going on. So at times, if there was a situation which I was handling, then I'll keep on thinking about the situation. So this reminder, and I have 3 reminders.
Wow.
One in the morning, that I have to do my affirmations. As you said, manifestation at night, I do morning affirmations. Second is this afternoon reminder. And third is 9 o'clock at night, that before going to bed, I have to settle my day. So if we, you rightly caught it. So if we are able to manage all these things, or maybe deep breathers, or listening to music.
Yeah. So on that note, I think this podcast can go more and more. And but for the last question that I would want to ask you is, if somebody has some sort of trauma, like for example, if somebody was terminated from the past organization and then they joined the new organization on a good note, so how can they make sure that that trauma doesn't come along with them and they are able to perform in the new organization, and then they can keep their mind sorted and they can just take everything well and happy and perform? So yeah, just tips for these kind of people, because termination happens, right?
Yes.
It could be a termination, it could be a layoff, and then probably they were, so layoff is literally happening in lots of MNCs also. Yesterday itself there was this news that Intel has laid off around 21,000 employees. So it is taking a toll on their mental health. So how can they cope up with that?
So very correct, Vanya. A tough statement to take, but they say that whatever happens to us happens for good. So look for good in everything.
Right.
So, and when I tell this to people, they say, हमारी job चली गई है, हमारा ये नहीं पता अगले महीने खर्चा कहाँ से चलेगा, and you are saying that look good in everything. But yes, at the end of the day, if you start looking at what is good, either you have some learnings, either you have some reflections, either you wanted a break, your mind wanted a break, your body wanted a break, and you got that break. Maybe you are going through, we just discussed about mental pressures, traumas and all these things. So what is the reason behind it? If you are able to reflect and if you are able to find something, go for that. Second is, I think it's a mix of, not only coaching, tips, I rather say is as a mix of healing, coaching, mentoring, guidance, buddy, circle of influence, everything. So you have to accept, when do we go berserk? When we are not able to accept that I am fired. But within yourself, if you are able to accept it, you will be very easily able to move forward. But if we remain in that, ek stamp lag gaya, ek label lag gaya. So it is not about, if you honestly see it from the root, the cause is not getting fired. The cause is after getting fired, what are we talking to ourselves? And how many times are we talking to ourselves? अब तो नौकरी नहीं है, अब तो खर्चा नहीं चलेगा, अब तो ये हो गया, हस्बैंड क्या बोलेगा, बीवी क्या बोलेगी, बच्चे क्या बोलेंगे, रिलेटिव्स क्या बोलेंगे, कलीग्स क्या बोलेंगे, फ्रेंड्स क्या बोलेंगे. So we talk to ourselves, and those 20 times discussions going in our mind, and then the family, they are receptive, well and good. If they are not receptive, then they also say, कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, जल्दी करो, ये करो, वो करो. So I believe that those post firing discussions causes trauma to you. So we have to, immediately, I say immediately you have to take an external support till the time you have joined an organization. Either go for some spiritual practices, go for some mindful practices, anything, whatever resonates with you. You have to keep yourself on high energies, high frequency. Don't allow yourself to go down, right? And once you have joined the organization, so what is that one thing? Lack of trust.
Right.
Because we are carrying our past, and वो कहते हैं हिंदी में कदम फूक फूक के रखते हैं, ऐसा हो गया तो वैसा हो गया तो फिर नौकरी चली गई तो बोल मत, सजेशन मत दे, ये मत कर, वो मत कर. So many organizations have this buddy program. So either you immediately get a buddy, or organizations have your apps, support system, counselors, you talk to the HR, or rather you can keep your boss under confidence. Of course, not telling that you were fired or similar situation happened, but at least you can keep them in confidence that, I have some past attached to it. You can, and keep your manager in confidence so that the manager keeps a check on you at time to time. And if you're not comfortable at times, we are leaders, we are not able, or we have a fear of loss of job, go for some external help.
True.
But till the time you don't accept it, you will not be able to take any healthy or a positive step. The first is it starts with me. I have to accept it, acknowledge it.
Right.
And once I'm able to do that. So, couple of days back, I was talking to somebody and she said that, so a lot of work pressure, again, work-life balance, all these issues were going on. And when we spoke, so we were doing all these coaching discussions. Generally, we were just talking. And after a few days, yesterday I was talking to her. She said, you know what? I have a huge lawn outside my office and so much of greenery and all that. And she's working in that organization for 2-3 years. and she said there is heavy plantation. Some plant that was her favorite plant. She mentioned the name. I'm just missing the name right now. And she said there are huge, पूरा hedge, पूरा garden सा बना हुआ है और मैंने पहली बार notice किया. So and that gave her so much of happiness that she has asked for the gardener that ये कौन सा है, कहाँ से लाया, मुझे भी मेरे घर में लगाना है. I will also buy. And she's working in the same office for last 3 years. And that's a routine that after her lunch she goes for a 5-minute walk for last 3 years. But now she noticed. Why? Because she was in her own thoughts. ये करना है, वो करना है. She was not able to break the pattern. And she just now has broken the pattern and she saw that. The greenery, and she was full of life. She was so energized yesterday.
Nice. Okay, so I mean, last thing that I want to know from you is, as a boss or as an employer, you or anybody that who would want these three things that we seek in any employer and a team member of ours. 3 things.
Are you coachable or not? Because see, skills can always be trained, but do you have that flexible mindset or not?
Right.
So today only I was talking to somebody, and this is especially for younger generation. So I was talking to somebody and asking her that, are you hiring freshers? So she said, yeah, we have, and
Energetic ones.
and we have positions going on, and if you have any references, do share. I said, what are you looking at? She said, of course, the skills matching the job description. I said, yes. Communication skills, because we are a multinational company. I said, yes. She said, इन दोनों को side में रख दो, जो मैंने अभी तक बोला है. The third is, what is the mindset of the person? Is the person coachable or not? Is the person flexible or not? And if I have 10 resumes on my table, so for example, if I am hiring a fresher BTech, now I have 10 resumes of fresher BTech. Which one will I pick? Will I pick somebody who is A+? Or will I pick somebody who is 80-85% plus lot of volunteer work or internships? Or rather, to be very specific, what extra will the person bring to the table?
True.
So she said, ये parameters देख लेना, अगर वो match करें तो CV भेज देना, selection हो ही जाएगा. After the interview process, interview round, हो ही जाएगा अगर आपने अपने team से ये screening करा ली. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, nice. I mean, it totally answered my question. So yeah, guys, if you are applying for a job, you have to make sure that you have willingness to learn. You are open to adapt, I would say. And then you are energetic, because if the energy would be low, then I'm sorry, no one would want to work with you. Every day you are entering your office, you have to join with a good smile and with lots of energy that yes, आज तो कुछ करके जाना है.
No, so Vanya, for young generation, they understand like this. Yeah. So they wear very expensive perfumes daily. Why? Because they make the aura in the atmosphere fragrant. Now you be that fragrance that the organization wants to have.
Wow, this is something that we should take care of, and you can definitely note this line. It was a good one. Okay, all right, Shefali, I think we can wrap up the conversation now, and I hope our viewers have got a lot of good insights from you today.
I hope too.
And if you would want to see Shefali again in here, then please drop lots and lots of likes, and then drop lots and lots of comments. And if you would want to ask her anything, then you can drop either on comment, or you can definitely approach her over LinkedIn. She is easily approachable there. Follow her on LinkedIn, and then she keeps posting and guiding you about mindfulness and how you can survive in the corporates. She will definitely tell you a lot of things there. So till then, bye-bye everybody. Keep subscribing, keep liking, and stay in touch with us. Thank you so much for being here and listening to us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Keep following her. She's doing a great job.
Thank you.